and this is Sea Life. Tell us what you're up to, Mr. Daniel.
We're plumbing the bathtub. I got all the faucet on, and I gotta actually do a little bit more inside, but I'm working underneath the house, so I gotta do the drain. I already cut a pipe to start on the tub drain. And right now I'm working on the hot water side. I already got PVC running out from underneath the house for hot and cold. So this is going to mark the hot water side, because I don't have the hot water tank in yet. So what I'm going to do is just slip that on, or glue it and slip it on there, and then the hot water pipe. And then that's probably about how far the hot water tank will be from here.
Oh.
Because there isn't much room that I need underneath there.
Daniel's out here doing the outside part of the drainage for the tub that we're in, the tub water that we're installing. And we were just talking about buying houses and how we've had good and bad experiences in buying houses, because you know, when you're working on something like this, you begin to think back about all the different home jobs that you had to do, all the different home repair jobs. And we've had some good experiences, Daniel, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
But we've had some bad ones, haven't we?
I think more of those.
Yeah, I think maybe more bad experience than good experience. And one thing that we really experienced in our home buying was, you know, be sure you don't get into the price war and, you know, keep bidding up and letting other people bid you up, and find out that you paid way too much money for the property that you bought than you really should have.
There's some people that probably are going through that now.
And I'm sure a lot of you may be going through that right now, and I hope it prevents some of you from winding up in that situation. And because if you cannot sell your home back for the price that you wound up paying for it, then it's not a very good investment. So
remember, right now, most people are paying way more for their homes that they're buying than they're going to be able to get out of it.
yeah, the economy is
especially if it's out in the country.
right, and a lot of people are going for country estates, and that's fine and good, and it's beautiful, but the problem is that it is generally very hard to get your money back out of something that is just not worth it, or something you may have to put a whole lot of money into something to make it worth it.
Well, yeah, you're putting money into it. Let's say you paid $3,000 and you have to put another $100,000, or let's say you bought a $300,000 and you have to put another $100,000 into it, and then you can only get $200,000 out of it. Then why did you do that?
Yeah. And so a lot of people may regret buying homes if they wind into that situation.
Well, right now my home is assessing it below what I paid for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're living and learning this firsthand.
But
firsthand.
If they actually went around my property and started looking at it, they probably appraise it a little higher.
Yeah. And you'll have to hire a personal appraiser in order to get the right appraisal out of your property. So, and a lot of people are thinking about flipping homes. And if you've never flipped a home before, you may, accidentally get into those price wars and wind up not being able to make your money back out.
And the thing is if you know, most people want to go for the gorgeous house on the block.
Yeah, yeah,
You want to go into a place where it has nice homes, but you want to buy the dog in that area.
or maybe not quite the dog, but not
That
the nicest one.
Well, you
No.
buy the dog that all you have to do is just put some paint on it and then sell it.
Right. You want to be sure you don't have to put a new foundation under it, though. Or
Yeah, well, that's worse than the dog.
right. Yeah.
Here's one of the things that you could be doing if you buy a house. You know, because when you hire somebody to pull maintenance on your house, you're paying anywhere from 3 to 6 times as much as it does for you to just buy the stuff and do it yourself. And that's if I buy the tools with it. So anyway, now, so I plumbed this to the tub and to the shower. And I know that the cold water is the shorter pipe and the longer pipe is my hot. Alright? I just know that because I put it in. Right? But I'm going to transfer from PVC to PEX pipe. And I'm putting a shutoff valve out here for each one of them. So this is going to be my cold water shutoff. And then I'll put one here and that'll be my hot water shutoff. So the thing is I know I'm ready to actually mount these. So, and if you haven't done any PVC work before, I just put a cleaner on there. That purple stuff is a cleaner for the pipe. And when you're doing pressured water, you want to actually make sure you do a good job. So I put the cleaner on there, and now I'm just going to put some glue, and you always do both sides because there's going to be a gap in there somewhere.
With the glue.
With the glue, yeah. There's always going to be a gap in there somewhere, and I think I just might have. Okay. And then when you're putting these on, you don't just stick them on, you actually kind of twist them a little bit while you're doing it, so it gets on there. You want it on there as far as it'll go. And there it is. I got it all the way on. Now, I have my hot water side. Now, I already put a chunk of PEX pipe on this, and it's red so that it's hot. So the next person that touches this knows that this is hot water because I have a red piece of PEX pipe on there.
Hopefully.
If they know what they're doing. Yes. Or at least if they kind of understand what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But they might go, why is that one white and that one red? Oh, the red one's got to be hot because I'm going to put a piece of this to my hot water tank too. So.
Okay. He's back and he's got his shutoff valves put in.
Yep, they're going to dry here in just a second.
And Daniel was just talking too about what does increase the value of a home.
Yeah, if you start looking, fencing can sometimes, it depends on what you're doing, but most of the time that doesn't. Adding trees to your house or around your property doesn't really increase the
value
of it.
It doesn't matter what type of tree it is. It can be a fruit tree, it can be a nut tree. That is not going to increase that value. Adding a room, Daniel was saying adding a room on may.
Or taking and modernizing.
Modernizing.
Yeah. A room like a kitchen or a bathroom, that will increase the value.
Yeah.
But you know how much you're going to put into it. And if you're going to hire somebody to do it, you're not actually making that much money on it.
Yeah.
And you have doing it yourself, you could actually really increase the price of it as long as you do a good job.
Right. As long as you know what you're doing when you're doing things. But here's the thing too: is you think it's cheaper to, pay for a house because the house payment is cheaper than the rent payment.
Well, it depends on how long too. Then.
But yeah, you've got to think about how long are we going to be paying this.
Well, how long are you going to pay your rent? You know, how long
And
is the rent going to increase? When the rent starts increasing on you, maybe it is time to buy a house. You know, you got to kind of weigh it. Because you got, you know, of course you got to think of taxes.
yep, because the price of the house isn't the whole price.
Yeah.
You've got to think of your yearly,
Taxes,
your
interest.
taxes.
Interest on the house.
Yep, in
'Cause
some
what
areas
the
even.
face value that they tell you, like let's say they say that the house is a $200,000 home, you're paying $200,000. That isn't really what you're paying. You're paying more like $250 because of interest on top of it.
Somebody's got to pay the points on the loan.
And then also you got taxes, then you got insurance, and as long as you have it mortgaged, you got to pay
Insurance.
And
Homeowners insurance.
then once you, but see, you should have insurance on something that you're renting too.
Yeah,
But it's cheaper for that kind of insurance anyway.
it sure is. It sure is.
So, you know, you got to kind of...
And then maintenance, you know, we've said that already, but yeah, any type of renovation or maintenance that you have to do will come out of your pocket. Your lawn and care and whatever the, you may have some people have that homeowners association.
That you got to pay your dues to.
That you've got to pay dues to, as well as you have to renovate to keep up with their standards. So, you know, it's a lot to think about when you're buying a home. Daniel's getting his peppermint water. It's a lot. It's just a lot to think about.
Well, don't get me started on those HMO.
Yeah, and it's important to buy property that doesn't have the utility lines going through it and HMOs and you know, there's a lot of things. Well, it is to us anyway. That would be important to us.
Well, if you think about it, if you buy a piece of property and it has utilities running through the middle of your property, wherever the utilities is at, you don't really own it.
That's right.
Because you can't do whatever you want right there.
And it takes the resale value way down. And I know as military people, we always felt like we got rooked. We got rooked. Every time we moved somewhere and tried to buy a house, we got rooked.
And they were trying to rook us,
because we didn't know the area. We didn't really know what the house prices were. All we knew was we needed shelter quick, and we really didn't want to pay rent. We wanted something that would be ours eventually. And so we paid way, way too much for our property.
We did that twice while we were in the military.
Yep, or 3 times.
Yeah, and then we were like, okay, never mind, we're just going to stay in housing. And we lucked out. We always stayed in housing pretty good until I was about ready to retire.
Yep. Yep. A small little drip like that can run you into a lot of money if you are on city water and not on a well of your own that you own. And it takes a lot of water out of your system.
See this, but I'm putting in this T. I already got this side mounted, so I connected into my shutoff valve here with some PEX, because this is PVC, comes into my shutoff. Then I got PEX coming here, and it's going into the rest of this PEX. So I got it connected to my T here. Now we're going to tie down, start with this first one.
He's got those shark bites on there.
And the first one went on there. Okay. I wonder.
Is that a special tool you have to get to
Yep.
use?
And that's
with
the
shark
stupid
bites?
thing about these clamps. You gotta have this special tool. So, but if you can do this yourself, you're going to save about 3/4 of the cost of repairs.
Mm.
And
That's
YouTube
great.
is a wonderful thing. It'll teach you all kinds of things.
Yes, that's true. We've used YouTube and Google for almost a lot of things, just a whole lot of things.
And those don't twist, so they're probably going to hold.
Yep.
At least it won't spray. Well, okay, you can keep an eye on these, and I'm about to turn it on, and we're going to see if it holds.
Okay.
So right now I'm going to test this. We know that part works. I'm going to test it all the way up to here, see if it holds.
And we'll see if I get wet.
Let's see if we get wet. It's all right. It's kind of warm outside.
It is. Especially here. Oh, yep,
Oh,
it's
it
dripping.
did.
We
It's
have a
leaking
drip,
right here.
as usual with
But
this
the one here
type
is
of
not leaking no more.
stuff. We're not the best at putting these shark bites
You
on.
know, sometimes I'm wondering if you just let them go, because like this one, I worked and worked and worked on it, and I let it go, and a lot of it just sealed up, and it was worse than it is, or was when I fixed it. This
So-
time I fixed it.
It's gotten better with time.
So I'm thinking about leaving that one, let it leak
Let it leak
for
for
a little bit. But you know, that's kind of taking a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how I'm just running it onto the ground, it isn't a big deal.
And,
Now, we're
and
gonna
seeing
check the
how
inside of the
we
house.
own the well, it's not a big deal.